I'm going to jump now to the demo. That was the simple use case, and I'll show you how we can make that reality. All right, so I'm going to go to this URL. That's asset.blockstream.com. And here, to create an account, that's really easy. Just go to create. You just need to provide your email and password. I already have an account, so I'm going to log in. So this is what you see on the plug. Can you confirm, Chase, that we can still see my screen and the tool?
It is confirmed. Looks good.
Perfect. All right. All right. So remember my use case. I'm this proud owner of the Kagane store. So I access this tool, and then I do have an option here to issue my asset. So it's like a brief explanation of what this tool is and the things that you need. So as we mentioned, it's non-custodial, so you will need a liquid asset. That can be, in this case, we're going to use a Marina wallet. You can use other type of liquid assets, but I'll let you know what limitations it has. So I'm going to go ahead and connect my Marina wallet. I already have that extension installed in here. So that's my Marina wallet. You can learn more about Marina, the Bullpen Ventures website. Really nice wallet extension. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. You can see like Blockstream Green, we're also working on making that available to be used with this tool, but that will come in the future. So right now, I'm going to go and connect my Marina wallet. So it requests access to my Marina wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. That's connected. And we're going to start the process of issuing the standard asset. You can see that we also have here the issue tracked transfer restricted. So these two are AMP assets, but these are not currently supported. And I'll talk more about that once we're done. So we'll issue that standard asset for Kagane. So here you have all the attributes that you can add to your asset. So as asset name, I'm gonna call it Kagane 1. Ticker is like a shorter version of the name that you can put if you want. That's an optional thing, and that will show up in the wallets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put Kaga. Domain ownership. So for like to link your asset with your project or your domain, so add authenticity to your asset, or like if people want to learn what that asset is related to, what we do is like we ask you to add a domain here that might represent your project, and we link that information with the asset. So there's like this information is committed to the asset, so people know that that token belongs to that project. So it's like adding a bit of like veracity to your token. So I'm going to use a test one. And finally, the collection field, it's in case you want to sort of like classify your asset under a collection. So it's still not widely used and not standardized. But like one example I could give you is like my store. Like I could put the name of my store here, and then my product, which is Kagane. And let's say that I produce a specific version of this figurine every year, so that will fall under this category. But I'm gonna leave that one empty for now. This is also an optional field. All right, so at this point, we define the amount that we want to issue for this asset. I'm gonna make it simple, just 21 here. And we also have to define decimal places. So what's the smallest unit that can be transferred from these assets? In my case, you need one token for one figurine. So I'm just gonna keep the precision or like decimal places to 0. Like you can't send me half a token and then I won't send you half of the figurine. So I'll keep that one as 0, but keep in mind that you can also move that up to like 8 decimal places if you want. We can also decide if the issuance of this asset is public or not. So usually for transparency, you want to say yes, like I want everyone to go and check the blockchain and see that I've issued this amount of tokens. And if I want to reissue more of these tokens, I'll select yes, so I can receive some reissuance tokens. And what happens with reissuance? So reissuance is not the amount of this token that I want to create in the future. Like, let's say I want to create 21 more in the future. I don't need to put 21 here. The reissuance tokens is just, let's call it like an authorization key that lets you create whatever amount you want from that asset in the future. So if you wanted to create an asset that has a hard cap that can never be inflated, you basically say, I don't want to create any more of this. So that will be the hard cap for my Kaganes. But I do want to create more in the future. Maybe I have different versions or there's more demand. So then I create more of my Kagane voucher token. And I'll select two because maybe I want to keep one of these reissuance tokens in cold storage just in case I lose the other one. And I'll use the second one as my main reissuance token. All right. As you can see, we do need a wallet, like an address to receive this asset. And because we already have my wallet connected, the tool has already like pulled an address from my connected Merino wallet. But it's still possible to enter an address manually. So if you have a green wallet, sideswap wallet, any other liquid wallet, you could come and paste the address here. But keep in mind that for a lot of the actions that I'll show after the issuance, you won't be able to do them unless you have a connected Merino wallet. So in my case, I'll use my connected Merino wallet and we'll move ahead. At this step, you have the information that you've added for this token. So you can review the name, domain that you've used, the amount that you can issue, and the wallet that will receive, and the reissuance tokens that you've created. Keep in mind that once you hit request issuance, all this information it's committed to the asset, so it can't be changed afterwards. But I'm happy with what I see, so I'm gonna go and request issuance. There we go. So right now my app has communicated with the asset issuer server and have used our elements node to create this issuance transaction. You can see it in the Explorer if you want. So that's, of course, still unconfirmed, but that's having all the details like this new asset, the amount that's been issued, and how many reissuance tokens. And you can see this in the Explorer because I selected to be a public. All right, so the next step after this is to prove the ownership. So that's what I was mentioning before, that you want to link your asset to a domain, so a website. For instance, like if I were the issuer of Tether, the liquid Tether, then I'll put the tether.to domain, and that will give authenticity to that asset. So that'll confirm that asset is actually the true Tether. So this step might be a bit tricky. So, and it might vary depending on the VPS that you have or the domain that you have. So we'll try to make a guide to make that easier. And we're also working on trying different approaches to make the proof of ownership a bit easier for regular users. But what you do is like you download a file that we create for you, and then you upload that to your domain. So just give me 1 second so I can upload that to my test domain. All right, and that's basically saying, let's see if it's already there. It's like a text file that says like authorize linking this domain to this specific liquid asset. That's something that needs to go to your domain. And then you just like click verify. So what we do is like we make sure that you have that domain, that file in your domain, so that gives us proof that you actually own that domain. And then we grab that information and we register your asset on the asset registry. But let me just do it later, so I'll show you what I mean by the asset registry. So this is my Kagane liquid asset, and this is all the information that I've included, like the name, the ticker, the domain that's associated. So when your asset is not registered, so it's not, you haven't proved that you own that domain, this information won't show up in any other platform, any other service. So like if you go to your Green Wallet and you send this asset to that Green Wallet, you will only see that long string in here, which is the asset ID, and people won't be able to see like human readable information. So that's why you want to register this asset. So let's go and register it. So yeah, one other thing that we don't allow at the moment is that you can't upload an asset, associate an icon to your asset unless you've proven your ownership. So let's go there, prove ownership. I'll show you that that file's already there. So I'll go click verify. So right now we're talking to the Blockstream Asset Registry, sending all this information. So then services that use the Blockstream Asset Registry as like a source of metadata, they'll be able to display all this information. There we go. So we've successfully, like the tool has successfully verified your domain and we've registered your asset. So now my Kagane asset has like all other services can then pull this information and show it to the users. So like my Green Wallet, Sites of Wallet, Blockstream Explorer, etc. They'll be able to show this information to everyone. All right, I do have my asset, but then I want to add an icon so people, when they receive it into their wallets, they can quickly see what that's about. So I'm going to go to upload an icon. So there's some guidelines, some things that need to be followed for this icon to be valid. You have the information here. I do have a Kagane image ready, so I'll use that one for my asset. And you can see a little bit of like a preview of what that looks like in like dark background, light background. So I'll go and submit it. So what happens now is this icon, like the image, needs to get reviewed by us, and then once that's approved, that icon will show up in your, like if you receive that asset in your wallet, that icon will show up there. All right, so let's say I've issued this asset, it has an icon there. So what I want to do is like I go to a meetup right now, so I want to distribute this asset to some people. So I do have that option to distribute it. Sorry, before we go there, let me show you, because it should be, there we go. So I'm showing you my Marina wallet, and you can see that now Marina can also show that metadata. So that's Kagane, Kaga, and then the 21 amount. So that's the issuance came here. So I do have my that token in my wallet. And now I have it in my wallet, but I want to send it to some of the people. Like I go to this meetup, they're really interested in my Kagane figurine, so I'll tell them, hey, I'll give you this asset, and you can go to my e-commerce store and redeem it for a Kagane. So you can start this flow here. So you input liquid wallets. Sorry, like you request a liquid address from that person. Say like, hey, I'll send you one to you, and then you have another address, and I'll send two to this person. And you can like keep adding more people if you want. Just keep it at 2. So there's like a bit of like review of what's going on here. So I'm gonna go and confirm my distribution. So what the wallet is doing now, it's sending a PSCT to my Marina wallet and telling me what's going on here, the address that it's sending to, and the amount. We want to work with the Marina guys to maybe improve a little bit the information that's shown here. But like what I'm gonna do is like approve this transaction, There we go. So I signed that transaction and my distribution has been confirmed. So if you go to the page of your asset, you can see that that happened here, the amount of assets that you distributed. You see information about the original issuance. And there's some extra information here about like circulating amount, stuff like that. All right, so that's the distribution flow. Let's say I see a lot of demand of people for this Kagane. So I call my manufacturer and say like, hey, we need to produce more. 21, it's not enough. So we need more than that. But because I'm going to produce more figurines, then I also want to create more of this token. So I can reissue more of this token. Let's say I want 21 more. So basically come here, continue. It's telling you the current circulating balance, the amount that I'm going to reissue, and what will be the new total. So we'll confirm the reissuance there. Again, trying to work a bit of like the information that's shown on Marina, but I'll sign this piece set. And there we go. We've completed a reissuance. So right now, instead of having only 21 Kagane voucher tokens, we do have 41. Well, minus these 3 that I already sent, but in existence, we do have like 42 Kagane tokens. And if I go to my Marina wallet, you can see that now I do have those extra ones that I've reissued here. Finally, the last thing maybe I want to show you is the burn action. And the burn action, what it does is just reduce the circulating amount of assets. So let's say, I don't know, like when the users come and redeem my token, I do want to tell them you had that unique token and I want to burn it. So like that's never going to be used again. Like that, I don't know, edition of the Kagane, it'll be gone forever. So I can go to the burn action, which is pretty similar to the reissuance. So I'm just going to burn 5 Kaganes forever. So I'll hit continue. Similar thing, showing you what's the current circulating balance, the amount that we want to burn, and what will be the new total. So I'll go and confirm burn. Similar thing, PSET, send to Marina. All right, and the burn has been completed. Something interesting about burns is that they are provable, so people can just go and check the block explorer like on chain, and they'll be able to see how much did you burn, and that's always going to be public information that's stored in the up return. So those are the 5 Kaganes that I just burned. All right, I think the other last part I want to tell you, maybe that's not related to my use case. I mean, that's the silly use case I was showing you, so you can get like a bit of like context of how you will use this tool. But there's a new feature that's called the import asset. So what this does is, let's say you've already issued your asset using elements or any other means, but you haven't been able to submit an icon for your asset. So what you can do is you can import the asset ID here of that asset that was issued outside of this tool. We'll generate another file that you need to add to your domain. So that will, again, tell us that you are the rightful owner of that domain, and then you have control of that token. And once you do that and you click verify, then what you'll see is like the very similar UI for regular users. Like you won't be able to do any action like distribute, issue, burn, but what you'll be able to do is manage the icon that's associated to that asset.